Bow, bow. Let's go. TP3. Oh my god. I want to show you how I caught this banger trade on Friday. TP4 hit on this trade, and I want to show you guys. I'm going to break it down for you to make sure you see that it's possible and you can do it. You just have to learn the skill, and you have to learn how to do what it is that you are trying to do in the markets, how to capture pips, how to capture moves, and how to capture great risk reward on trades. So let's get into it. Let's start off with these clean charts right here. I'm going to start from Wednesday, so I can properly show you guys what I was looking at in order to catch this beautiful 104 risk reward trade. That was a complete banger on Friday. Complete banger. Oh my god. So I'm going to start by drawing around these areas. So I usually use wicks to capture areas that are weak. So the wicks show you where price went to and rejected from. That's what wicks show you. The body close show you where price was price strength was at. So if a wick, we have a body, if we have that, like, let's do it here, something that looks like this, we can see that price started up here. Well, it started here, depends if it was bearish or bullish, but let's call this a bearish candle. It started here, went down here, pushed up all the way up here, and closed down here. So that means there was probably a lot of sellers up here that pushed price down here, which ended off the candle right there, and then the next candle opened up this around the same area right here. But we know weakness is here. Buyer weakness was in this area, so that's an area of interest for me. So now, with that having been said, keep that in mind, and let's continue the breakdown. So we're looking at now wicks. I want to capture the wicks on the 1 hour time frame. So now I'm looking at these wicks right here. Let's capture the ones down below. This is from Thursday's low. Then let's look for anything else that could stand out to me. So based on structure, I always use structure in order to make my decision on where market's going. We can see market made structure all the way to this low point. That's why we created wicks around it. I don't care about the wicks out inside the two high and the lows, because now we can see that price already went through these wick areas. Price already came through them. You see there's a big wick right here, but price already traded through it, came back, even retested it, retraded through it. So I don't care. I only care about here because that's where the strongest, that's where the last time price went to and rejected from. So that's the main thought for me. Sometimes we have one area that's so strong, so we'll come there 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 times before it even breaks it, and it will still be an area of interest for me. But once price breaks it, it's no longer an area of interest for me. So let's continue. So this is an area of interest for me on the 1 hour. Let's mark it off. Let's call this the 1 hour area of interest, and then this is also another 1 hour area of interest. Another area of interest that I would be probably interested in is somewhere down here. If we continue the trend, you could see price now started making higher highs within trend. So within trend before it broke out. So now we have another low right here. So now I'm paying attention to this next wick right here on the 1 hour. So just 3 main wicks on the 1 hour time frame. As I said, I don't like to draw all of them because they will confuse you, and they will take you out of what you really need to see, because you're focusing on too much things on the market. So I just like to keep it simple, focus on the highs, the lows, and the highs, the lows, and the structure points. Now we drop down to the 15 minutes. So usually what I use is 15 minute, the 1 hour, 15 minute, and the 1 minute. That's it. I might look at the 5 minute here and there, or 30 minute here and there. It just depends. If we're going into 9:30 and I want to see what the 9 o'clock 30-minute candle look like when it closed, that's the only reason why I would look at that, because I want to see how it looked when it closed. Where's a big rejection of a candle? Was it strong body close? Example, but I don't really look at it. So drop it down to the 15-minute time frame. Now we're going to use the same concept. It's literally the same concept, but we're gonna put these like to, let's call this 11 o'clock, so we can see them on the 1 minute when the time comes. So these are all 1 hour. So we're gonna change the color so it's not gonna be confusing to you when I drop down to a smaller time frame, which is the 15-minute now. So we draw structure again. It's easy when you draw structure. It's easy for your eyes to see where you need to be paying attention to, especially if you're new to it. But if you've been doing this thing, if you know the edge, you have an edge, you have a concept, you back tested it, forward tested it, then your eyes will get trained to it. I still use it sometimes, but I don't really always need to use it. But I leave it on the charts because it just helps me. I don't have to go back. If I'm sitting on a 1 minute time frame, I don't have to go back now to the 15-minute time frame, the 1 hour time frame, to see where that area is. I already know where it's at. I might look back on the higher time frames to see how the body candle closed, if we have wick rejections, things of that nature. But I won't go to see where the area of focus needs to be. All right, so let's draw these structures again from the high to the low. Boom, you see it, boom, price made a high, broke these highs right here. Now it started to trend lower. We could put it right here, trend lower, and then it broke structure again. So I'm gonna draw every time it broke structure, just to give you a clear example of what you need to really focus on and how I caught this banger trade, bro. Yes, this is gonna be a little bit of a long video. I put a shorter video on Instagram because people's attention span is ridiculously low. So if you really wanted to figure out how I look at the charts, how I trade, how I even call this setup in great detail, this is the video for you. So right here we see price broke structure. Where did it come back to retest structure though? When it broke structure right here, where did it come back? Retested structure right here. It retested at, it's not perfect. The market is not perfect, but it came back to this area. So it broke, but it didn't get a retest, but it came back to the area, right? That's what people don't understand. They look for a perfect chain of events to happen within the market, but the market is not perfect. Just look for what makes sense. Look for your plan. Look for your edge. Don't look for it to be perfect. Just does it make sense, because there's different variations of your edge. So we came back for the retest right here, and then what happens again? If you pay attention right here, we have structure and then another break right there. So I can put a box around this area, but at this area right here where we got the break and retest, what do we have that was left behind? A huge wick rejection from that area. So I'm gonna put a body right there. Do you see that wick? You can see that clearly on the 15-minute time frame. So I'm gonna box it around and call that 15-minute. I'm gonna change the color. I'm gonna change the color to orange. Now you're on the 15-minute. This is your 15-minute, and this is probably the only thing I actually paid attention to. And right here, where we had this next high right here, it's probably the only two areas I would have paid attention to. I did pay attention to. So we had the 15-minute right here. Let's change the color to orange. So those were the main two areas that I focused on. Now we drop down to the 1 minute time frame. So I showed you the areas of interest. I showed you why, because of the structure, because of the wicks, because of the body closes, all that area, all that stuff. Now we drop down to the 1 minute. On the 1 minute, this is how I catch my trades. This is how I catch trades. Well, I take trades on the 1 minute because it gives me the best entries, the best stop losses, and the biggest risk to reward. So I always take my trades on the 1 minute. Drop it down to the 1 minute time frame. We can see all the areas that we marked off: the 15, the 1 hour, all that, etc. Now I'm gonna show you what I was looking at to catch this trade. As I said, it's all in structure. If you pay attention to structure, the market tells you so much about what it wants to do next within structure. And also like the candles, how the candle closes, the wicks. But that's all about the candle formation. Read the Candle Bible Stick. It's free on YouTube. Just check it out. But that's going to give you so much clarity. Structure, The trend is your friend. You always want to be a part of the trend. Although I trend, sometimes I can trade, but it's I'm counter trading within the trend. So I'm trend trading, but I'm counter trend trading within the trend, the high time frame trend. Sometimes it's a lower time frame trend. It just depends. So now let's do the structure. So we got these highs right here. Now we're doing a 1 minute structure. I have to do this because I need you guys to see how I look at the market. I don't do this, by the way. When I'm looking at the markets, I don't draw it out. I used to, but my eyes are just trained to see it now that I don't need to. I only do this because educational purposes. So we had this big wick rejection here. You see, market came down, shot back up, and then it came back down again. Then we can see structure building back down again right here. But if you guys pay attention, I'm gonna show you where 9:30 opened up at. Right here. I'm gonna draw that line at 9:30. So I'm looking for what happens back at this 15-minute structure. This is 15-minute area of interest, because price came there on the 1 hour time frame and it retests that area on the 15-minute time frame, and now we want to see what it does on the 1 minute time frame. So it's all sequential, but it's the trading the trend within the trend and focusing on areas of interest. So this, as I said, this was my 15-minute area of interest. It also makes sense on the 1 hour time frame, right? 1 hour time frame. So what I was looking for right here, because we have price trade and create structure all the way back to this low, then it broke structure, came back here, made this 15-minute wick. You guys seen it on the 15-minute. That's why we have the box around it, because that's essentially where it went to. Then it came back down into this 15-minute area of interest. How did it come back down though? It didn't just push up like this. It didn't just go straight. It created structure. If you really want to learn how to trade from me, I have more graded into detail stuff, but this is still really good stuff. This is how I trade. It's just like, if you really want to understand to even greater detail than I'm showing you right now, I have something that I'm working on. So really, when I look for a trade, is right around 8:30 to 9 o'clock, 9:30, 10 o'clock, 10:30. So really, I'm trading from 8 to 10, 10:30. So it's like a 2.5 hour window, maybe even 3. I might stay till 11. I might. So it's really just that window right there. But my highest probability trades come at 9 to 10. That's my highest probability window to 10. So what was I looking for? I was looking for a break of structure to indicate me getting into the markets. That's where I wanted to get into the markets. I want to get into the markets when price is showing me that it no longer wants to go in that direction based on higher time frame areas of interest. So it has to be higher time frame. It can't just be you looking at a 1 minute wick and you're like, oh, we see this wick rejection on the 1 minute, let's take this break of structure right here. No, it has to be on a higher time frame structure because the high time frame structure is essentially what the market is actually doing, right? I don't go to the 4 hour or the daily because that's too big of a time frame to really look at. But the 1 hour is high time frame structure. 15-minute high time frame structure. So now that we're trading on the 1 minute, every 1 minute candle is 15-minute candle, and every 1 minute candle is 61 minute 1 minute candle for the hour. So it's in great detail, but it's still because I'm looking at the higher time frame, and then I'm building a story, building a picture all the way to the lower time frame for me to execute properly. I'm waiting for this break of structure right here. Then when the market broke structure, I stepped into the market. So I trade with limits. So I already see this area. Once it made this low, I'm already looking at, I need to set my limit right now immediately, because I see an area that I can get into. So I'm immediately pulling out my fibs. I'm immediately pulling out my immediately putting out my stop limits. I'm calculating my risk, all different type of stuff. So I'm like, okay, cool. This trade looks amazing, because from structure to structure, from 15 to 15-minute structure, we have a lot of space to play with. So I easily, before even touching the next 15-minute time frame, catch a 3-to-1. So if this trade works, easy, 3 to 1, easy. That's how I'm looking at it. Can I even get the risk to reward I'm looking for based on structure? So I see I could easily catch a 3 to 1. So I'm going in this trade. Let's go. We can put down 1%, make 3%. You could put down 0.25%, make 0.75%. Like, it just depends on your risk, but you need to be risk management. You need to practice good risk. So I caught this 1 to 4 because I was aiming for the 1 hour structure, because I already seen that price came here. When it rejected here, I'm looking for now for it to break this area to go to the 1 hour structure before it starts to reject from that area, essentially, because the 15-minute is not as strong anymore. I'm looking for it's right next to the 1 hour. I'm paying attention to 1 hour. So that's how I caught the 1 to 4 on this trade. I hope this makes sense to you. And really, if you really want to learn how to trade in even greater detail, the mindset, the everything, just leave me a comment. Leave something. Let's learn in the comment section. If you even made it this far, leave learn in the comment section. I'm gonna hit you up. I'm gonna set you up, man. I'm gonna put you in my group chat. I have a free Telegram. I even have a paid Telegram that I go live with my peoples and we trade. Listen, I can set you up. I got a course that I'm working on to help people who want to learn how to trade like me learn. So yeah, hit me up, man. Till